Hi, my name is Jennifer Nielsen. I am an author of books for young readers, but today I am here to speak to young writers. And I know as soon as I say that, some of you are instantly going to tune out and you're going to say, well, yeah, that's great, but I'm not a writer, so why do I care? And I would say, okay, I get that. I totally do, but at least try for today, because today I'm not just speaking to young writers. I want to talk to you for a few minutes about creativity. And all of us are here to create something, whether it's to create a computer game from lines of code, to create new recipes, to create art, to create some new invention, or to create story. And some of us believe that creativity, it's just something you have to be born with. Either you have it or you don't, and that's just not true. There's not some magical like twine of DNA that you're going to inherit or you're not, and if you're not, you're out of luck. It's something that you can learn and something that you can teach yourself. So whatever it is you are here to create, let me suggest to you 4 things that you might do in order to become a more creative person for whatever it is you're working on. Now, the first, it might seem rather obvious, but it's actually very important. You've got to believe in yourself. All right? You've got to believe that it's possible for you to create the thing that you want to create. Because if you start out saying, well, I'll never be able to do that, you might be right. Because the reality is that most of us will never take a single step beyond what we already believe is possible. So, have that confidence in yourself. Now, I know what this is like. Many years ago, I had this idea to write a story about a boy who was being forced to impersonate royalty. I was so excited about the idea, but honestly, I had failed at writing so many times. I had a lot of evidence on my side that I, in fact, would not be able to create this story, or that even if I did, nobody would ever want to read it. All right? But somewhere inside me, I say, well, all right, but how will I know I can't do it unless I at least try? And so I began to write all the time, believing that every word mattered because one day it would become a published word. Well, it did. All right. That novel was The False Prince, which put me on the New York Times best-selling list, and has done well enough that in just a few weeks, in October of 2020, I am releasing The Captive Kingdom, book 4 of the series, as it continued. Well, I never would have got this far if I wouldn't have got this far, and I wouldn't have gotten this far if I hadn't just somewhere inside me believed it was possible to do that. So that's where you begin, with that self-confidence. All right. And even if it's not totally there, at least say, well, I don't know, but I've got to try. That's where you begin. Number 2, you've got to have a baseline of knowledge. You can't create something from nothing. And where we begin is with a basic understanding. All right. If you want to create a computer game, obviously you've got to know some basics of computer programming. For me as a writer, I have to have a baseline of knowledge for the topic that I'm going to write about. This spring, I'm going to release a World War II novel called Rescue that deals with the spies and secret missions of World War II. Well, I didn't know anything about that. I mean, I knew they existed, but that's not enough to write. So I began to research. This is some of the research that I did for it. It's printouts of websites, and you can see notes I've made on it. Sometimes it's bigger notes, like creating outlines from it. I had a map where I'm able to see the world in which I'm creating. But even this wasn't enough. I had books. This one talks about the SOE. This is they were the Mission Impossible for Britain of their time, and needed to learn more about them. And as part of learning more about them, I found the spy training manual, like the actual manual that these spies might have used in order to know what it is they are supposed to do. It was so cool. I got to use one of my all-time favorite books, How to Die in the Outdoors, which is kind of like what things you would do in survival situations that my characters needed to do in that book. Awesome read. I also ordered myself in a silk map that the spies would have carried, because the silk, it doesn't rustle against the skin as much, and so they were easier to hide. This is a silk map of France from World War II. And all of these things provided that baseline of knowledge from which I could then write the book. Now, number 3, you've got to ask questions. And you're going to hear me discuss this many times throughout these chats, but it's that important that whatever it is that catches your attention, you have to grab that item with your imagination and immediately begin to ask questions about it. Now, if you are a writer, those questions will lead you to story. I'm going to show you how this works with just a few random objects in my office. So, starting with just something from my desk, an envelope. All right, just a regular envelope. But you see, we're going to ask questions about it. So we might say, well, maybe something was in this envelope. Was it found? Was it addressed to your character, addressed to you? Or is it just something that you found along the roadside? Was there something in it? A note? Is your name on it? Is it signed by anyone? Was there supposed to be something in here and it's missing now? Maybe it's not a note at all inside. Maybe it's a huge wad of cash, tons of money. And why did you happen to find it? All right? The answers that you give become story. I'll give you another example. Let's start with something like, it's just some playing cards. And you'd say, oh, well, I guess you could write a story about someone playing cards. But let's make it more interesting. Let's say, all right, let's take this, but I want to change up the pack of cards. It's not going to be a regular set of playing cards. Maybe the playing cards that we use are very different. Maybe they are entirely blacked out. And this set of cards that you use, okay, what is going to be different about this set of cards that you won't be able to see the hand that you are dealt or the hand that you draw? And what if you pick a card? And then as soon as you pick that card, it's going to light up. And maybe this becomes your fortune. Maybe this becomes your fate. Maybe you choose that card and your enemy chooses their card. And that's the abilities you have in whatever battle is about to come. See, we're just asking questions. Let me do one more. Let's choose something that has no story possibility whatsoever. A pencil. And you say, yeah, there is nothing there. All right? But this is my challenge for you. I want you to take this pencil and say, and ask questions about it. I will give you the first suggestion. What if this is no ordinary pencil? What if, when you write something down with it, then let your imagination fill in the rest. But ask questions of anything that grabs your attention. That will lead you to a more creative story. Now, number 4 is something that is not something so much to do. It's more goes back to the attitude you need to have. I need you to be willing to fail. We need you to be willing to say, you know what, I'm going to try this and maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it's a disaster. I'm going to test this recipe and maybe everybody hates it. But at least you are willing to try something that doesn't work. How else will you know what does work? And to assist with the importance of understanding the reasons why it's so important to be willing to fail, let's decide what it's not. It's not this or this. Instead, I want you to think of a quote from one of my all-time favorite authors, a man named Neil Gaiman. Several years ago, he gave a graduation speech at Harvard University where he talked about good art and about why we must be willing to fail. Neil Gaiman said this: I hope that in this year to come, you make mistakes. Because if you are making mistakes, then you are making new things, trying new things, learning, living, pushing yourself, changing your world. You're doing things you've never done before, and more importantly, you're doing something. Don't freeze. Don't stop. Don't worry that it isn't good enough or it isn't perfect, whatever it is. Art or love or work or family or life. Whatever it is you're scared of doing, do it. Make your mistakes next year and forever. All right, you have my challenge. You have a pencil, and I just want you to ask questions about it. Watch where your creativity takes you. Tell your ideas to somebody else and listen to their ideas. See where their creativity took them. I'll see you back in about a week with yet another suggestion. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderfully creative week ahead.